and welcome to this week's angling blog. Today you join me on a beautiful spring morning. We're fishing Grimsditch on the Lymm Anglers Card, and it's a water that I have been dying to fish. So when I first joined Lymm Anglers, I walked around all the waters, and this was the one water that I couldn't wait to wet a line on. Been waiting the last couple of weeks to start seeing signs of it waking up, and I've been nipping past on the way home from work and just started to see fish topping. And when I come up last night, there was quite a few fish moving. So we're on the banks today to see if we can catch a few fish. So let's see how we do. Right, so set up for the session. I've gone with my Drennan Aqua Elastic down to £2 6-ounce line, a 4x12 pole float. I've got two number 6 Dinsmore sticks evenly distributed on the line, two number 12 sticks on the hook link, and that's a £1 14-ounce hook link. On these venues, when I'm first starting, most of them are new to me, so that is a setup that I use to get kind of like a litmus test of what's in a venue. Right, so side tray for today, I've got a couple of pints of Cheshire Particle hemp, a few pints of red maggot, and some micro pellets. This venue is similar to Village Pool when we fish there, and I'll put a link to the top of the screen now to one of them videos where it doesn't allow ground bait. So pellet is an excellent way of getting round venues that don't allow you to feed ground bait. The pellets obviously break down on the bottom and act similar to a ground bait when they break down, but also species like tench, bream also love the pellets. So it's an excellent way of trying to draw them fish, if they are in here, into the swim. Right, so one thing that does stand out with the Lymm Anglers waters is just how well they're looked after. As you can see, the banks are well maintained, and all the other pegs, you can see I've got similar access. There's not one peg that you can't really fish on the venue. And you can see the car park there, so it's got good access, and that is the peg that we're going to be fishing today. So we'll have a look about how we're going to approach it. That's the swim for today, and like I said on a previous video, always looking for this dark water here. It will enable you to see your float a lot easier than the silver water to the right. And I picked this spot because it's in kind of the middle of the lake. I've seen a few fish topping, albeit a bit further out, and depth wise it's about the same there as it is all the way out there. It's a nice 4 foot maybe, and just to the side here we've got a lovely overhanging tree that just screams that it holds a better fish. So I might feed a bit of bait down there and try it on a heavier setup later on. But that is the swim we're going to fish today. One change I am making this week, I'm going to feed the swim by hand. So I'm going to feed 5 or 6 maggots every put in, every other cast, you know, a few grains of hemp. One thing I will use the cad pot for is feeding the pellets, because they are really light. So I'm just going to feed a few micros over the top, just to get an idea of what's in the swim, and then we can change it accordingly. So the first put in on a new venue is always a special moment. You never really know what you're going to catch and how the session's going to go. These first sessions are not really about catching a load of fish, they're about working out what venues contain and also what baits work on them, and then you can begin to work out plans to approach them next time you come. So like I said at the start of the video, the one thing that this venue has got is that beauty about it and that magic. You know, the sun comes up over them trees over there and you get all the reflections on the water and the colours, and I know that some lilies come up over there later on in the year, and it is a beautiful venue. So first bite of the day, it's taken about only about a minute to come, and as always it's normally a small fish to start off with, and a small little roach just to start the session. And the second fish of the day coming straight after that one, very next put in, and that's a slightly better fish. That's a good early sign. You know, last week when we had that frost, it was really quite slow to begin with on village. So to get a couple of bites so quickly is really promising. So the swim that we're fishing today is a lovely depth of swim. It's about 3 or 4 foot deep, so it's not too deep that you don't think your bait's getting on the bottom, but it's not too shallow that, you know, you wouldn't want to disturb the shoal on the bottom when you play a fish. And that is the third fish of the day, and in them 3 fish we've had a progression of stamp, haven't we? We've had a small one, a medium, and that one's better again. So a good promising start. There we go, with the sun just touching the water in the background, a lovely rud. So the swim after that third fish went quiet for a little bit, and when the float's gone this time, it's a much better fish. And that's what can happen sometimes when the swims go quiet. Can mean that a better stamp of fish has moved in, and that is again a progression on that rod. So you couldn't really get a better start to a session. It looks like a right mixture, that one. So leave in the comments below what you think it is. Is it a bream? Is it a roach? A brooch? What do you think? There's that bream, and almost certainly coming into the micro pellets that are fed by the cad pot. But yeah, as the start of a session goes, it's been a fantastic start. Just what you want to see, you know, a perfect start to the session. Progression in size of fish, culminating in this one. And let's hope he's not alone So let's get back to it. So the swim has gone really quiet and we've hooked into a proper fish, and you see the elastic's well out. There is a snag to my right, so just trying to get it back into the open water in front of the peg. And the swim had been quiet for about, I'd say 10-15 minutes, where the bites had just completely stopped. And I'd say this is a much better fish. You try and get it down to the top kit, where you can put a bit of pressure on it. But there are quite a few snags under my feet, and it's that moment where you're just now dying to see what it is. And in my heart, I'd love it to be a tench. I really would. I'd love it to be a tench. And I think it is, you know. It's that type of venue where, you know, you can imagine with the lilies up, and yeah, a little tench. And that, yeah, that's proper made my morning. That the swim had gone really quiet, but yeah, to catch a tench on a venue as beautiful as this, yeah, let's have a look at it. And with the beautiful Grimsditch behind me, a lovely little tinker, and he did give me the little run around, didn't he? A beautiful fish. And I must say, when I seen this pool, it was the one species I was praying I was going to come across. With that tench and that bream, it does show that there are better quality fish in here, and what it means is you can tailor your approach next time. I imagine when them lilies get up, we'll have some fantastic days fishing with corn and hemp and pellet for the better fish that are in here. But like we said at the start, just fishing that light setup is a great way to get a cross section of what's in here, and you can work out so much in just a short space of time. So after that first tench, the swim went really quiet, and I hooked another tench and lost it under my feet to a hook pull. Gone back in, and it's mad how you can tell that the tench have kind of moved off, because again we're back to getting steady bites from the roach. So we're about 3/4 of the way through the session now, and it has been an enjoyable morning on the bank. It's bank holiday weekend, and I am only going to fish till about midday, which is nice really, because the temperatures are going to be high, and it means the keep net isn't in too long, with it being not the deepest of venues. So yeah, hopefully in the last quarter of the session we can get a few bites from these roach, and who knows, hopefully Mr. Tinker might make another appearance. But it has been an enjoyable 2 or 3 hours on the bank this morning. call this fish the last fish of the day, and we'll have a look at that final net on what has been a really nice morning on the bank. Right, so the session comes to an end there now, and it has been a thoroughly enjoyable morning on the bank. And as you can see from the final net on screen, we've had quite a few bites, and we've also had some quality fish in there as well. And like we said at the start, that's what this session was all about, was about working out what's in the venue. And that few hours on the bank has shown us that there are some quality fish to be had in here, and it's also a venue you can come to and get plenty of bites. We are at the start, you know, of spring, middle of spring towards the start of summer, and it's only going to get better from here on in. And I imagine this pool will provide some fantastic fishing in the months to come, and like Village Pool, will be a pool that I'll definitely be back on. It is an absolutely beautiful place to wet a line. Thank you very much for watching the vlog this week. It would be great if you could, you know, like the video and subscribe to the channel and share the video with your fishing friends. Would really appreciate that. But until next week, tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next time. Tight lines.